So very good morning to all the viewers who are watching my video at present. This is Kamla Party from the team of Mission Iceland with Integrity. So in this video, we'll be discussing a very important topic that is all around the world, which is become a sensational news. That's the reason why I am going to prepare this video after a long time. So I hope each and everyone who is watching this video may get an idea about how difficult it is to a parent to separate from the children. One of the video I have seen in a video I have seen, a father is been separated from her daughter. A father is crying for a daughter, and the daughter even do not know why his father is crying or her father is crying. So main reason behind what of inventing Ukraine. Have you ever remember the things which have been done in the past? The World War One, the World War Two, which has made a tremendous impact on the life of civilians. Yes, I'm saying civilians. Innocent civilians have been killed like anything, like just like a war which usually we see from different movies, different Hollywood as well as Bollywood movies. Have you ever remembered these all things? Before remembering these all things, I will just have an idea. I will just give an idea about why Russia is inventing Ukraine. What does Putin want? So these all things I will be discussing in this video. Hope I might be having a clear understanding about what I am saying, and I hope each and everyone who are watching this video will get an understanding about why Russia is doing these kind of things. What is the presence of NATO? How NATO organization usually impacts. So these things particularly makes a sense, particularly makes a learning in our skills in our current affairs balance. Okay, so whether there is an impact in the World War III, maybe or may not be, I do not know. But the thing is that we must and should have to know what the things are been going on in the world, what the things should be so what the things we should have to know, such that we will be getting a clear understanding about regarding the sensational news which are been forming like anything, or which has been pounding like anything. Okay, so these things we'll be discussing in this video about the Russia as well as Ukraine. Okay, so these things, before reading or having a clear understanding about the things, I'll be discussing about the frequently asked question to everyone's. Like everyone usually have this in their mind, that why, where, how many died, why there is a like scenario, war like scenario. Not, it is already been happening there, right? So why it has been going on? Why the main reason? What is the special reason behind that? So those all things we'll be learning in this video. So what is the first number question which usually comes in our mind? What is the region of conflict between Russia and Ukraine? What is the region? So that is all about this. The Russian Federation and Ukraine are currently in state of war. That we all know that the Russo-Ukraine war began in 2014. Okay, in the 2014 itself has been begun following the Russian injection of Crimea and from Ukraine. Okay, so Russia has annexed. Okay, we can say that they have taken away one of the part of Ukraine. So that named out for yeah, that named of CRIMEL. Okay, in February 2022, it has already been begun, right? It has even Russia has invented Ukraine cross of a border front. Okay, so these things we must and should have to keep in mind about the region behind the conflict. Then after, what did Russia takes from Ukraine? So what did it takes? So it usually has taken an Crimea Peninsula from Ukraine. This event took place aftermath the Revolution of Dignity. Okay, so after the Revolution of Dignity, even Russia and Ukraine conflict has been began in 2014 itself. Then after, the next number question which usually been asked is about when did Ukraine break from Russia? So when usually Russia, or we can say that Ukraine is which is a part of Russia, okay, which is a part of Russia, it has been broken down. what is the reason or when it has happened. So that's the question. So Ukraine officially declared itself as the independent country of 24th August 1991 after the Supreme Soviet Parliament of Ukraine proclaimed that Ukraine would no longer follow the law of USSR and only the laws of Ukraine SSR, to de facto declaring Ukraine's independence from the Soviet Union. Okay, so this is when how the Ukraine government has been independent from Rus. Then after current affairs, if we can say that currently 24 or more than 24 soldiers or Ukraine soldiers have been died and 10 civilians has been killed according to presidents of Ukraine. Okay, so these are the different frequently asked questions. Then after Ukraine and Russia, so you can say that Russia is more powerful than why it has been invented. So these two contain with these two border areas which has been sharing from Russia is been conquering by Russia. Okay, so these two areas Luhansk and Donetsk. Okay, sorry for the pronunciation. These two areas are being in a war-torn areas. Also, we can say that. So they are going to merge these two areas in Russia. So what is the reason? I'll be discussing regarding that. So here you can also see that in 2014 they have merged with Russia. Okay, now they are inventing these two states. Sorry, I'm facing some problem. Yeah. So here you can say that when the merge of NATO organization, even Ukraine wants to merge with NATO as a continent. Even NATO is very much what can say that NATO organization are eagerly waiting to merge, or you can say that number of students must be include number of countries must be included in that. So that's the reason behind why the NATO troops are being that the reason behind why the NATO troops which are been infiltrating in the European Union where the Russia doesn't want that. That's the reason behind the conflict also we can even say. Okay, so here you can see the NATO organization, right? NATO members, where we can have the presence of US troops. Okay, the presence of US troops here we can see, right? So this is how it usually occurs. Then after what does Putin wants? So that's the last slide which I want to say you. So what does he usually wants? He usually last year president wrote to a long piece describing Russian Ukraine as a one nation. Okay, he has described the collapse of Soviet Union December 1991 as a de-integration of historical Russia. He has claimed modern Ukraine as entire created by communist Russia and is now puppet state. Okay, then after controlled by West. Okay, so that's the reason why the Putin usually wants to merge Ukraine into Russia. Maybe that's the main reason behind that. Then after NATO organization, if Ukraine merge with NATO, then the presence of US troops will be there with them. There might be some impact. So these are the reason behind that. Okay, so till then, thank you for watching my video. Thanks a lot.